Yeah, it's true. Whether you played Max Payne or you haven't, I'll be the first to tell you that 23 years have aged this game like a fine wine. If you've heard of Remedy Entertainment, you can thank Max Payne. That's their second ever game. Wow. Payne put them on the map as an independent studio. It released in July 2001 to extremely positive acclaim. Heck, it even won a BAFTA award for Best PC Game of 2001, so you know it's good. It's the first game that pioneered bullet time. Popularized by The Matrix, you know those slow-mo action sequences with grown men diving with double-barreled shotguns in each fist? It's pretty badass. But alright, enough of me reading Wikipedia pages to you. For newcomers, let's get you into that story. Life was simple for Max Payne. An NYPD officer turned DEA agent. The same old, poker nights with his buddy Alex.
Like taking candy from a baby.
And retiring to his apartment at night to kiss the kid and wife. Until he loses them to some junky thugs. High on the designer drug Valkyr.
No!
3 years later, he'd be deep undercover in a plunge into the underbelly of New York, working with the Punchinello family, the people who traffic this drug. And while all this occurs, Max's collegiate BB sets up a meeting between Max and Alex, who is murdered in cold blood in the New York Metro station. This flicks the first domino that would see Max sink his fangs into the neck of every tight-fisted mob boss in the city, subsisting off of painkillers, stale donuts, and the pure, animalistic rage that only revenge can supply. Max steps in. I think this game is in a Goldilocks zone for me personally. The story is compelling and broody, but the tone itself doesn't forget it's a PC game in the early 2000s. You'll get some of the coldest one-liners ever dropped, and then stare straight into Max's shit-eating grin.
I released my finger from the trigger, and then it was over.
That's a face you can trust.
There are even moments where the third wall shatters, and during a hallucination, Max is outright told he's in a video game, and I think that's my favorite scene. And that's saying something.
I was in a computer game. Funny as hell, it was the most horrible thing I could think of.
And the elephant in the room is that these models are a little silly. They're meant to be shown on a 640 by 480 CRT monitor and still have some spare change to run unlimited hardware. So you're not only seeing the beginning of Remedy Software's super cinematic hyper-realism with real actors, you're also seeing some of the smartest ways an indie team can cut their corners. I mean, that's not gonna stop me from making fun of these goofy faces though. I mean, fucking look at this.
I think he's dead already.
Let's do it.
Speaking of the silly shit you can pull in this game, one of my favorite things about Max Payne are its interactable cutscenes.
It's Payne! He's coming down the stairs! Shoot the bastard!
When you kill an important enemy, and if you're close enough, you can see yourself controlling Max. Every single time the camera spins around some dead mob member, I start immediately just swinging my mouse like it's a pair of nunchucks. You just never know. I've actually never had so much fun being terrible at a video game. Max Payne is old school, so you gotta learn by doing. And the playstyle that the game grooms you into kinda looks like this. Quick save, first off, get to a corner, open a door, bullet time dodge around that corner, and then blast a guy. So much of Max Payne is calculating your next move, deciding the best way one person is gonna solo 4 men with auto shotguns in a 12-foot hallway. It's not the run and gun shooter you might think it is. Though that didn't stop my monkey brain from running straight in, brute forcing a gunfight, and then getting my ass handed to me, bar none, every fucking time. Oh my god! Something that absolutely saved my skin and made this game as fun as it was for me was the quick save function, which allowed you at the press of a button to just save your progress instantaneously and return to the save state. Payne's a hardcore game, but it lets you take the edge off if you want to enjoy it that way. And of course, I'm by no means a god gamer, so this was perfect for me. I can literally count only one time I got genuinely frustrated that I died. That one's frustrating. That one's frustrating because I just went through hell. Because I knew that if I had gotten killed and my progress through a level was reset, that was up to me. Wherever I last saved, that's where I'd be. If it were miles and miles from where I last pressed F5, that was completely my fault for thinking I was safe. What? So secure with a quick save in your back pocket, when you get your shit kicked in, I mean, it's the funniest thing imaginable. It's impossible not to laugh. Okay, got it. Great game, which is great because I'm just kind of stupid. You know, in a world of square grapes and concrete food stalls, it's fun to go back and just see things work the way they should.
You don't get this shit anymore, man. Play any modern title, and you shoot these, you're not getting that. No.
It's funny for me to say that Max Payne has such verisimilitude. No element of this story or game should be believable, but the cohesion between tone and story is ironclad. Everything it shoots for, it nails. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say,
They just don't make them like they used to.
without sounding like I'm old as dirt, but it's true. There's love in every single stitch. An example being the conversations you can overhear between enemies.
The hero dodging in slow motion. Oh man, it would be so cool to be able to do that. Bullet time, that's what they call it. Bullet time, yeah, would be so cool.
That's great. So there come some perils with running a game that's 2 decades old on modern hardware. For instance, there are scenes where Max is wandering through these labyrinthine hallways and nightmare scenarios. And that's really where the game is at its most atmospheric and immersive. Which makes it all the more painful when I'm shunted out of that reality because I'm glued to a couch or a wall and I'm just getting SpongeBobbed through the architecture.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
I doubt you're the one that coded this. It's okay.
It's really the only glitch I encountered while playing, and when I look it up, it seems to be a physics issue caused by an uncapped frame rate.
No. No.
It by no means mars my review, because this is almost certainly a new problem. I was in the flow of the moment and pushed through these when I encountered these bugs, and that made the nightmare scenes truly nightmarish.
Come on, man. Get me out of the fucking geometry. Alright, guess I'm just gonna float my way there. Now I'm completely stuck. Now I'm stuck completely.
So, just a heads up, if you mean to play this anytime soon, cap that frame rate at a solid 60 and you're good to go. But don't let anybody tell you that Max Payne isn't a horror game, because I've turned so many corners and got blasted, that's a jump scare every fucking time.
I didn't see this door?
I've tried my best to be vague on story elements, so if you pick this up for the first time, you're not outright spoiled. Additionally attractive is the brevity of the game's story. I finished this game at a leisurely pace, just shy of 8 hours, which felt like even less time when you factor in the addictive gameplay loop and the charming dialogue.
You're killing me. Did you make that up yourselves or you get some wino downstairs to come up with it? Don't answer that. A rhetorical question.
I love this game. I know that if you're gonna grab this game, you're gonna fall in love with Max as a character.
Listen good, Candyman.
Sam Lake, the game's head writer and model for Max, has the noir-style soliloquies down to an art form. Just listen to this.
Outside, the mercury was falling fast. It was colder than the devil's heart, raining ice pitchforks as if the heavens were ready to fall.
To me, it's doubly impressive just how sublime Max's dialogue writing is, given that Sam is Finnish. You would have assumed he was born and raised in the Big Apple, just given how natural the dialogue is. He's such a talented dude. Another talented man who contributed nothing short of magic was the late James McCaffrey, who passed during the writing of this video. Without James, there just simply wasn't a Max Payne. I find myself at a loss to articulate James's performance. I've said natural about 6 times in the last minute, but it's all that comes to mind. The suspension of disbelief was immense. With James's narration and acting, you were Max Payne, the suave, smart-mouthed cop who was in on the sick joke the universe was putting you in. It was no secret that together, Sam and James were a match made in heaven. They Voltroned themselves into the world's most debonair man. It was my obsession with Max as a character that carried me all the way through the story. The gritty matte paintings, expressive character shots in every panel. You gotta try this game. It was lightning in a bottle, and I really dare not say another word. This is my mic drop. Just go pick up Max Payne. You'll have a hell of a time.
A bit closer to heaven. That made 2 of us.